And as we said, President Trump arrived a short time ago in Doha, Qatar, for the next stop on his Middle East tour. He spoke to reporters before deplaning Air Force One, and here are some of those comments.
Hello, everybody. The jet fighters will be surrounding the plane in about 7 minutes. Oh, I heard they threw you out at the press conference.
They tried, but Caroline stopped them.
Caroline saved you. You're lucky. You're lucky. You were a little out of control.
How's the trip going so far? Well, I was asking you about your meeting with the Syrian
I think it's
President.
going well. Great relationships. And now we're meeting with a group that's fantastic. The Emir is a great guy. I know him all very well. Who are you?
Great. Thank you.
You're going to be surrounded by 8 fighters, in about 7 minutes. Then you say, do we need them? And when they say yes, that doesn't make me feel good, right?
What's the threat? Did they tell you what the threat is?
No, let's assume there's no threat. We have to assume that.
How did you find the Syrian president?
Great. Great. I think very good. Young, attractive guy, tough guy. Strong pass. Very strong pass fighter.
Does that worry you
But
at all?
he's got a real shot at pulling it together. I spoke with President Ahmad, who I'm very friendly with him. He feels he's got a shot. Very good example. So it's a torn up country.
Do you think Syria will join the
And we'll be following President Trump's visit throughout the Mideast as he's in Qatar today, and then he moves his way to the United Arab Emirates tomorrow. So stay here with Scripps News. I think we have more of that press conference, informal press conference. He was talking to reporters on Air Force One before they landed in Doha just moments ago.
I'd like to be the ambassador. He's a very successful guy. And I said, that's very dangerous. He said, I don't care. I love my country, and it's worth it to do. I'll go and interview him sometime. Michelle. He's a great guy, but I think he's approved or almost approved. But, there's a danger there for a very successful man to go and do that. I said, are you sure you know what? You do it. It's like Doug taking pictures.
President Trump taking some questions from reporters there on Air Force One as they head to Doha, Qatar on the second day of his Middle East trip, and basically saying there are some bullet points saying that he's not sidelining Israel by not going there, that he is in contact with Netanyahu, the prime minister. He may go to Turkey for the Ukrainian-Russian, hopefully ceasefire talks that President Putin has asked him if he would come, and he is considering that perhaps on Thursday. And he's spoken to Turkish Prime Minister President Erdogan, and Mohammed bin Salman yesterday in Saudi Arabia, and that led to the decision to lift sanctions on Syria, saying that that's the best way to help their new leader succeed going forward. Also being asked about putting secondary sanctions on Iran, talks about Iran and their nuclear weapons program coming up during this trip to the Mideast, and he said he has not ruled it out, and his quote is, "Let's see." Also said that he would consider putting secondary sanctions on Russia there if they don't perhaps come to the table in a ceasefire with Ukraine. So we will keep following that. The president is expected to arrive in Doha today. We'll have some talks. We'll talk to reporters. We will cover that all and bring it to you live as it happens.